You are listening to a special edition of the Purdue Report with Jake Dunn. Jake's reaction to Purdue's 85-57 victory over the Minnesota Golden Gophers on Wednesday night. And it's only on the Central Indiana Sports Report. Welcome back, Boilermaker fans, to the Central Indiana Sports Report for a special edition of the Purdue Report with Jake Dunn. Here to get Jake's reaction to the 6th-ranked Purdue Boilermakers 85-57 win over the Minnesota Golden Gophers on Wednesday evening at Mackey Arena. Jake, the Purdue Boilermakers are 2-0 now, and as we said in the Purdue Report this week, we felt sorry for Minnesota. We knew it was going to be a blowout. It just didn't quite go as we expected. It took till the second half to really turn into what we had imagined was going to happen.
Pretty slow first half there from Purdue. They built a 27-15 lead, but just couldn't separate as Minnesota closed the half on a 17-8 run and hit 6 of their last 8 shots in the first half. So Purdue's only up by 3 at half, and I imagine Matt Painter and Braden Smith probably said some words in the locker room at halftime, and that led to the second half. The first 7 minutes of the second half, actually, Purdue scored 21 straight points at a halftime and went on a 29-2 run in the first 9 minutes of the second half. Yeah. So really dominant, at a halftime there. I kind of wish we would have seen that in the first half a little bit, but. Right. It doesn't matter what the score is at halftime, just matters what it is at the end of the game.
Whatever Matt Painter said at halftime, we need to bottle that up for the next game.
Yeah.
And every other game, because that worked.
From a veteran team, you kind of wish you wouldn't have to wait to see that fire for a little bit there. It seemed like Braden Smith and Oscar Clough, probably the only 2 players that really kind of seemed like they wanted to be there tonight. And I'm sure we'll talk about it here soon, but Braden Smith has had a phenomenal game tonight. And Oscar Clough, did as well.
We were on quadruple double watch with Braden Smith for a little while. Never seriously was a threat, but it was a minor threat there for a while.
And I think if Minnesota would have been able to keep it close, Braden Smith might have been able to accomplish that. So to me, it kind of looked like he was hunting it a little bit there in the second half. But there was just a stretch where he couldn't really get many rebounds. And I think if he would have been close, a rebound or 2 off, and still would have been a decent amount of time left on the clock, I think Matt Painter might have left him in so he could get it. But live to see another day here. Joe Barry Carroll, the only Boilermaker with a triple-double in school history.
And never been done with steals and never been done with assists. I wouldn't be surprised if Braden Smith does that by the end of the season.
I thought this was a great opportunity. Minnesota's they're not a great team. They did beat Indiana at home, who was a ranked team at that point, but they're not a great team. New head coach, and this was about as good of an opportunity as any to get it. But you played 32 minutes. It was pretty high energy in those 32 minutes, and really controlled the tempo on both ends. Played really hard defensively, as you mentioned, 5 steals. Also had 6 rebounds, 12 assists, and 15 points. So definitely his most complete game this season, and maybe one of the most complete of his entire career.
That's a National Player of the Year type numbers right there.
Yes, it is.
So far, he has not been that type of player yet.
I would agree.
By the way, January 10th, Penn State's at Mackey Arena. Braden Smith may have 25 steals in that game. Any chance you saw the Indiana-Penn State game last night?
I did not, but I saw IU hit a lot of threes. I did see that
Penn
about
State
the game.
Can barely get the ball across half court. There was a stretch there where they had to have 12 turnovers and 20 possessions. So that might be the date where you finally see a triple-double with steals. He's going to have a triple-double with rebounds as well, I think.
Yeah, I hope so.
It'd be fun if he did 3 different ones.
Yeah.
I think he's good enough to be at that level as we saw tonight.
Absolutely.
Jake, I've been watching basketball games for 45 years at all different kinds of levels, and I can't recall a single time two teams were in the 30s at halftime, and then later one team was in the 70s and the other team was still in the 30s.
One nice thing about that run there that Purdue went on is kind of came from every level there. I mean, Purdue had
Really
20
did.
points in the paint, as well as 3 threes during that run. So I think in the first half could have went a little bit more to Oscar Clough. Kind of throwing the ball down there into them. For a little bit, I thought it was going to be the Oscar Clough game. Just him going off and really kind of showing what
Kind
he
of
has in the
was.
bag there. Really kind of the first time we've kind of really seen multiple. They've gone to multiple times throughout the game, kind of being able to make him the focal point of the offense. And so I kind of throughout the season, I've been thinking that's probably coming. Didn't know it'd be today, but it's good to know that against teams that don't have a really big or a real physical front court that that's an option that Purdue can go to
I'll tell you
if
what,
they need to get
teams that
something
don't
going.
have good front courts are in big trouble against Purdue because those two guys are really good at taking advantage of inferior front courts.
Especially in the rebounding game today.
Yes,
Purdue won the rebounding battle 46-23, and
complete domination.
32 of those were defensive rebounds.
Yeah, my favorite thing was Minnesota only had 5 offensive rebounds.
We've talked about the defensive rebounding percentage before. Purdue tonight was at 86.4%. That's far above their season average of 73.5%. So that was a big big focal point here in this game. And again, Minnesota doesn't have a great front court, so if Minnesota wanted any chance to win, they really needed to control the glass, and Purdue just didn't let them do that, which is great.
CJ Cox and Jakari Harris, we talked about them needing to take a jump to the next level for Purdue to reach their potential. It seems like both of them have been a little quiet in doing it. CJ Cox is just solid every night.
He is on both sides of the floor too. Tonight, 7 points, had a rebound and assist, 2 of 5 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3. It's hard to kind of replicate the value he brings to this team on both sides of the court. Jakari Harris as well, 2 of 5 from the field, had 5 points, 1 of 4 from 3, rebound and assists, and he had a steal as well. I think there's going to be times where we talked about before, but times where Oscar Clough has a really good game. Big times where Jakari Harris or CJ Cox has a really good game. It kind of is a big reason Purdue wins in the games. I wish every player could have a great night every night, but that's just not how the game of basketball goes.
That's right. It's going to be hard for guys like CJ Cox and Jakari Harris and Omer Meyer and those guys to have big games because there are All-Americans having the big games in front of them.
And I will say CJ Cox had one of his best two-way games all season.
He did.
And his plus minus, he was plus 27 tonight. So really, Purdue played really well with him out on there in the court. And the bench in general scored 25 points tonight. Daniel Jacobson had 11. Omer Meyer had 5. So
did Jakari Harris.
Yep. And I think Omer Meyer, there were a few times where he got kind of caught sleeping there on defense and allowed a back cut that his man scored. So would like to see his defense step up a little bit there, but Purdue wins by 30 basically. Yeah, against in a close game, I think that probably he'd be a little more alert and attentive to that, but just something that I noticed Purdue got beat on the back door a few times, but again, I'm sure against a better team and a closer game would be different.
Let me tell you, Jake, Matt Painter loves Jack Benter. If you would have told me at the beginning of the year that he was going to be getting as many minutes as Omer Meyer and almost as many as Jakari Harris, I wouldn't have believed it. I thought for sure he was going to be a 2-3 year project, and he's just going to get minutes every night.
Kind of had a rough night. You kind of looked like a freshman. 0 of 2 from the field. Missed his only 3-pointer he took and was 1 of 4 from the free throw line. Purdue as a team shot 68%. So some people struggled as well.
But He had 6 rebounds and did a lot of other good things as well.
Yeah.
He moves without the ball. He moves the ball. That's why Coach Painter loves him.
Yeah, I will say Liam Murphy, 6 minutes, made a 3. His shot looks pretty. I know I said it before, but his shot looks pretty. Yeah.
He's going to have to get minutes. He just never misses. I'm shooting 53.8% from the field and 50% from the 3-point line. And man, that stroke is smooth. I'd like to see him get some minutes in some meaningful time and see what happens.
The Oakland game, he hit 3 threes in that game. It was 3 of 6 from 3. And against Iowa State was 1 of 2. He got 5 minutes against Iowa State, but played 18 minutes against Evansville, 10 against Oakland, and 11 against Rutgers. From then, he's just had 5 or 6 minutes, but he's got some game breaking abilities with when he can go in there and make a shot. So he's just got to get on the floor. Really, that's his main struggle.
I swear, I had never seen him miss a shot, including the scrimmage against Kentucky. It's uncanny, and it looks like it's going in every time.
Yes, it does.
And I know it's usually minutes that aren't very meaningful. You might even be playing against other bench guys, but I'm telling you, man, that stroke is pretty.
It's a reason why Purdue brought him here.
Jake, 2-0 in the Big Ten.
A time that Purdue hasn't, here over the past few years, they've had some struggles winning that first, road opener in the Big Ten. So not a common thing for the Purdue program here in the past few years, but 2-0 the Big Ten, pretty decisive wins here in the Big Ten to start. Again, they haven't been great opponents, but still got to win the games that are played, and Purdue's really controlled, the game for the most part, and their 2 wins. So next up, got a kind of bad Marquette team at Mackey Arena. So Marquette and Purdue played pretty close the past few years. So I never know what'll happen there.
Then you got Auburn, then you have Kent State, and then the Big Ten starts again, and it starts with a Wisconsin team that is currently down 27-22 to unbeaten Nebraska. Jake, you called that one.
I kind of like them here before the season. They did lose Connor Sejan. He is out for the year with an injury, so I thought they might fall off a little bit, but they've still been playing pretty well, and they could make some noise in the Big Ten. And if I'm not mistaken, they have never won a NCAA March Madness game. So this may be the year where they finally get that done.
Never won a game. I know they've been in quite a few, a handful at least.
Yeah.
Weird they've never won a game.
Yeah, Kisei Tominaga a few years ago, he got them to the NCAA tournament. They played Texas A&M, and I think a lot of people kind of thought that they might win that game, but they lost. But since then, I don't think they've been back to the tournament. But yeah, I believe they've never in the history of their program won an NCAA tournament game.
When I was in school, they were pretty good. They had a guard named Jamar Johnson from Elkhart, along with a big man named King. I don't remember his first name.
I looked up the stat for Nebraska, and yeah, they have not won a Big Ten,
an NCAA tournament game.
Yeah.
What is it? 0-6 is my guess.
0-8.
0-8. Jake, on this week's Purdue Report, I asked you to rate your kind of concern meter after the Iowa State game, and you said it was about a 4. I kind of agreed with you. Probably would have said 3.5. Where is it now after a really good half against Minnesota?
I'd say a 3. It's definitely gone down. Still not very overly concerned. The biggest thing is just wish they would have finished the first half a little bit stronger than they did, and came out. The second half really dominated the first 9 minutes of the second half, holding Minnesota only 2 points. I think it's certainly gone down, but just would have liked to see that some of that fire, some of that fight, throughout the entire first half, rather than waiting till after halftime to really kind of assert their dominance.
I will say this, the way they struggled out of halftime on Saturday, it was nice to see them come out of halftime playing that well. All right, Jake, that was fun. Let's do it again on Saturday after another Purdue win over Marquette. That game also at Mackey Arena. We will react to that either Saturday evening or Sunday morning. And then you're going to be at the game at Cambridge Fieldhouse on the 20th when Purdue plays Auburn.
Yeah, really looking forward to that game. I think Auburn's still trying to find their identity a little bit here after the Bruce Pearl departure, late in the offseason. But still a good team, got a lot of really good players, and I think it should be a good game.
You've been blown out a couple times lately, but they do have wins over Oregon and North Carolina State and a 1-point loss to Houston, so definitely a capable team.
Absolutely. So Purdue's gonna need to be ready to go. They have a week break. They don't play in between the Marquette and Auburn games, so Purdue will have to come ready here, stay ready after Marquette, and come out ready to play because Auburn, it's guaranteed that they'll come out ready to play.
Jake Dunn, thank you so much for your time. Always appreciate it. And everybody, thank you so much for listening. Please do us a huge favor. I'm sorry I'm a little hoarse, everybody, all of a sudden. And share this podcast with a Purdue fan in your life and help us spread the word that the Central Indiana Sports Report is talking about what Central Indiana sports fans are talking about every single day. Thanks again, Jake, and Boiler Up.
Thank you. Boiler Up.
The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Susie.